Hello cuties! It's time for another episode of Literarily Cooking. Today we're cooking, we're not baking, and it's kind of halvesies literary, halvesies TV show, silver screen stuff, and that is Avatar: The Last Airbender. I bought this last year and I've been meaning to use it. So we're gonna do that, as well as talk a little bit about my experience in SPFBO, the self-published fantasy blog off. We're gonna two birds, one stone it today. We are gonna be making stuff from the Earth Kingdom. I am Earth Kingdom. If I were to be an avatar, I think I probably would be. And we're gonna be making Misty Palm special rice. So what you need for Misty Palm special rice is leg of lamb or lamb shoulder. I have lamb shoulder. It says 1.5 pounds. We've got about 2. You know, a little extra doesn't hurt. You're gonna need some neutral oil, some salt, coriander seed. It said cumin seed. We only have ground cumin. Garlic, fresh sliced ginger. We're doing this like a cooking show where I've already prepared all the ingredients because it was a lot. I just spent a lot of time chopping all those up. Anyway, you will also need black peppercorns, but again, we only have ground. It's fine. Half a medium onion sliced. 2 large carrots chopped, peeled and chopped, but I ended up using 4 carrots because the carrots at the store were dinky. We're gonna be needing some black vinegar, which you have to get from your Asian market. That's not in regular stores. We're gonna need some chicken stock, and that's for the lamb. For the rice part of this, you're gonna need 2 cups of medium grain rice, which is soaking in cold water for 30 minutes, which it's already been doing. For neutral oil, we're gonna need a half onion, this time minced up. We're gonna need more carrots. We're gonna need another 2 carrots, but now we're diced a little smaller. So again, another 4 carrots for me. More garlic. We're gonna need more cumin, fennel seed, raisins. I don't remember the last time I bought raisins. I don't think I've ever bought them. I think I've only had them as a kid. And some chopped dill. This whole thing says that it's gonna take you cook time approximately 1 hour. It should yield 3 to 5 servings. This is what it looks like. We're gonna get started. First, I need to start straining this rice because it's got a little less and I didn't actually put the timer on at the exact same time, so it's fine. So we're gonna strain it. So we're gonna do this the old fashioned way, and we're using a plate. You guys can't see what I'm doing. Essentially, plate on top of bowl. Just enough to let water out. Rice. Now that that is good to go, we're gonna start doing our lamb. Now, this recipe I didn't realize wanted a pressure cooker. We don't got that. We're gonna do a lot of soak in this, so this might take a little longer than I wanted to. So, we're going to rub down our lamb with salt and then brown in a pot on all sides. Remove and reserve. Okay, that's what it says to do. So, let's talk about SPFBO. If you don't know what SPFBO is, it is the self-published fantasy blog off. It is hosted by Mark Lawrence, and this year I was delighted to not only be in the competition, but I was a finalist, and I'm very grateful, first and foremost, to be a finalist. Now, this whole competition takes an entire year, so that's why I wanted to kind of like give you my perspective on stuff. So the first like 5 months is just finding out who's a semi-finalist and then a finalist. So there are 300 entries. Now this time they've done it differently where it's like a first come, first serve, kind of everybody submits as fast as they can at a certain time. This year, to make it more fair, they did a kind of a drawing. A lot of people were upset about this. Now, there is no perfect way to choose who gets in the competition because people are submitting from all over the world. And I saw a post that really made me angry saying, well, if you didn't get up in time to submit it, clearly you don't want it as much. And that is just a blatant lie. All right. People have jobs. People would have to get up at like 2 a.m. just to submit their book to this. So I found this to be a lot more fair because it could be anybody. Now, sure, that could have been another slush pile of entries to get to the top 300, but that's way too much. It's so much. So anybody who's like got their panties in a knot because they didn't get in because it was a raffle this year, you might not have gotten in anyway if it wasn't a raffle. There's no guarantee because of how many people actually submit for this. So calm yourselves. Oh God, I'm already talking way too much and not rubbing down the lamb. Never cooked lamb before, by the way, so this will be an interesting experience for sure. Oh, can we fit everybody in here? Everybody fit. Yes. Then they are divided into 10 groups of 30 per the judges. Now, the judging is always something I've been a little bit meh about because some people do it like just on their own and some have a full team. And it feels, for me, a little imbalanced that way because it's like one person's opinion versus a group of 5. And it's off. It feels off to me just the way that people choose to do it. I wish there was a little bit more concrete means of judging. Now, granted, they're all using, I don't know if they're all actually using the same means of grading, if they're using claw pile or what, or, you know, there's a lot of different ways to use this, and I don't have tongs. I should probably look at my next step before anything else. I know I'm going to need to pull them out. It's nowhere near ready, bud. And also, you're not eating any of it because there's going to be so much onion and garlic in this. Some of these guys. So then they average those scores, which is still overall fair, I guess. It just feels weird because, like, I want to be a judge so bad. I want to be a judge so bad. And I would do it myself. Now, granted, that is a big undertaking, and I understand people can't always do that. And so that makes sense to me. But for me, I'm like, I want to do it. So, hi, Mark. If you're watching this, I want to be a judge. Let me be a judge. Paul says I should be a judge. So each of those judges then pulls out semi-finalists, just books that they're really enjoying. And then they decide a finalist. And I was very lucky to be a finalist. I did not think I would be a finalist. When I saw my group, I was like, I know exactly what book is going to be the finalist. And it was almost a finalist. And I was very shocked when Kitty chose me over that book. So it was quite a shock. We had a very diverse group of entries. And this is my next bit about this, is because so many people were so salty about the selection process. It led to a lot of people, especially on like Reddit, really trashing our books without really even knowing that. A lot of people I don't even think read them before they were trashing them. They were just basing it off of stuff. One of the biggest like things that people didn't like about my book is that there's romance in it. And I'm like, yeah, sorry I like romance. Sorry there's happy ever afters, because I live vicariously through fiction. That's why I write these stories, so I can give characters happy endings, because I don't have a guaranteed one. I was kind of put off by some of the what I felt like was uncalled for criticism. There was somebody who's like, this is the weakest group of finalists ever. So I'm like, don't you dare talk about my friends like that, because I think we all had really interesting books. Now, granted, I haven't been able to read anybody's yet. They're all on my TBR, but all concept-wise, at least, they all seemed very interesting, and I liked how diverse they were. I especially liked seeing that there was a really big queer representation, especially with Wolf of Withervale, and I felt very kindred with them because my book is also queer. Granted, theirs is mature and mine is YA. It's mostly YA. They're still like, it's so hard to classify mine because it's YA because Talia and Asha are POVs and they're teenagers, but Calliope and Melpomene are adults. So it's hard. That's why I had to do self-publishing group, because either I'd have to age everybody down or age everybody up. I don't know. It's just very difficult to classify. What am I doing next? Coriander seed, cumin seed, black peppercorns to a pot. Saute. Oh, that's why we need them to be seeds. And then we're adding our onion, garlic, ginger, carrots, and salt. Saute those. Okay. So once we were all announced as finalists, we all got to be in a little Discord group together, which really made the experience great because we were connecting with each other. We were supporting each other through the highs and the lows. And I really liked the camaraderie that was there, especially because, like, for me, this last year has been very stressful. on me mental health wise, especially with my big move and finding a job and not really finding a permanent job and losing my health insurance and stuff. And like, it's been a very, very, very stressful time. And so I felt like I was kind of like the Debbie Downer of the group, because every time I'm like, I really just needed people to talk to and more support. And like, so many of the other finalists are like, you know, doing these really cool things, and they're at these conventions, and they're, you know, getting their shipments in, and they're all kinds of fun stuff. My phone is going off. That is a, no, shush. Spam call. Because like, and like, nothing was going on for me because I couldn't buy more stock. I couldn't go to conventions. I wasn't in any other awards or anything. So I felt really kind of like the most out of place in the group, just because I have a day job. Writing is not my full-time job as much as I want it to be. And so kind of getting a little bit of imposter syndrome in the group, because I felt like everyone else is way more of a professional author than I am. Even though they might also have the same imposter syndrome and stuff, that's just how it works for me. Even when you're like a finalist, I'm like, I'm not good enough. We need 2 teaspoons, 2 teaspoons. So of course, I should have opened these before. Okay, that one was easy. Coriander, cumin, black pepper. Maybe that's why it should be seeds, but we don't have them, so that's what's happening. Till fragrant. Sure. Fragrant. Onion, garlic, ginger, carrots. Okay. This is this onion. Turn that up. These carrots. Buddy, out of there. This ginger. Garlic. How much garlic? I said like 4 cloves. So we're just gonna take a ton of it. You can never have too much garlic. See it? Okay. How much of my black vinegar? A teaspoon. I had to buy this whole bottle for a teaspoon of it. This is the smallest bottle they have. This blend of spices is very, 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 very nice. So this year in judging, like, the judges were also like all over the place in terms of their enjoyment of it. So it made for a fairly tight race. Although I did mention that I predicted the winner and I put it in a little box, and I do have that little box. Technically, my prediction was correct until the last second, because there was a tie this year at the very end between Mushroom Blues and By Salt by Blood. By Blood by Salt. Sorry, J.L. Sorry. And I predicted Mushroom Blues was gonna win. I feel like that book had so much hype. There were so many other like vloggers and stuff talking about it and raving about it. So I was fairly confident that like Mushroom Blues is gonna win. But because they based it on who had the higher amount of like the overall higher scores between the judges, it went to By Blood by Salt, which was my second prediction. I basically predicted them just in the wrong order. You need me to verify that with my prediction, but like I lost. Technically I lost in my prediction there. Big congratulations to both of them for one. I know they both deserved it. I was very excited to read both of their books. I really I want to read everybody's. I do think I'm going to have kind of my own reading vlog at some point, where the theme is to read all of the other finalists with me and give my feedback, not my feedback, but like my review of them. Because it was interesting, because we did have a middle grade, Tana, The Tenacious Tale of Tana the Tender Sword. I just actually love saying that. Which it did seem like a lot of the judges this time around were being like, it's not for me. And so they would give it a low score rather than, I don't know, not rather than, but it's up their prerogative to do whatever score they want to. But it felt like almost every judge was saying, it's not for me. But, so that felt a little disheartening sometimes, because of course a middle grade is not going to be for, 30, 40-year-old adults, it's for middle graders. So you have to kind of judge it from a slightly different angle. Same with YA. It's not written for adults, although you could argue that right now it is. Like, but my characters are very much teenagers. They're going to act like teenagers, or at least Asha and Talia. Talia especially is a teenager. She is me as a teenager, and I was a nightmare. So I wanted to put that on the page, you know, the frustration, the reality of like that angsty teen that wants to get out of their house. That was me. That was me. Okay. So it was interesting seeing the review deck. Now, I'm not going to talk about like directly like who reviewed me what and fight with them, because reviews are for readers for one, first and foremost. And this is not the vlog this is not what I'm doing right now. I'm just telling you my full experience. So everybody had different experiences. I was actually really surprised with some that loved it and some that didn't like it as much. Everyone seemed very, very nice in their reviews for my book, which if you didn't already know, it's Humane Society for Creatures and Cryptids. I was actually very, very shocked by one reviewer who, like, I follow this one on YouTube. They're actually the reason I know SPFBO exists, and I know their reading taste, so I was like, there's no way my book is going to be one of their favorites, and it ended up being one of their favorites. So that was a surprise to me. That was probably the biggest win for me, because it was like this full circle moment of seeing the person who introduced me into the competition like my book. That was a big high for me. That was a really good moment in the competition for me. Now, other ones made me a little sad. I do have one big kind of gripe, because one of the purposes of this competition that I think, I don't know, Mark will have to speak on that more, but I've always interpreted this competition as a way to kind of get indie voices out there a lot more, because marketing is very hard. Indie world is really, really, really difficult. The purpose of it is to kind of showcase and give these books more space in the world to be showcased, to kind of, yeah, to actually showcase them. And I do feel like there was an imbalance in showcasing, because a lot of reviewers did solo reviews of books like Mushroom Blues, By Blood, by Salt and stuff. And then nearing the end, it felt like everyone was rushing, so they just clumped everyone together. So we each didn't get the same screen time, I guess, with the judges and their audiences. And I get like things being busy and stuff, but it would have been nice if everybody had individual reviews, so that, especially as an indie author, I could link people to it and be like, look at this review of Histocac. But then it's like, look at this review of Histocac at this marker, you know? So it's a little bit disheartening that, like, that's how, like, you kind of figured out who was going to be the winners, is who was getting more dedicated reviews than anyone else. So yeah, there was a little bit of a letdown that way, to just see my book not get as much airtime as the other ones did. And that's, you know, it is, I hate the phrase, it is what it is, but that's how it went. A lot of the judges, I think a couple of them did admit to being burnt out, which is another reason why, Mark, I would like to be a judge. I'm not burnt out yet. I love reviewing books. I love reading books, and especially love indie books. That's my whole thing. This is taking its sweet time. So that's kind of my biggest gripe about the competition, is I don't feel like we were all given equal time to shine in the world. Obviously, the judges equally read our books and rated our books, so the scores are obviously there for that reason. But in the aftermath of the competition, it does feel like myself and a few other books especially were really kind of just shoved in there at the very end, and not necessarily given the chance to find the audience that would like them. Because even if the judge was like, I'm not the audience for this, they're showcasing it to people who might be the audience for it. Hello. Random wayfarers, okay. Things falling out of cabinets. Just the ghost, it's fine. I feel like I'm taking this entire review just to saute these vegetables. That's it. That was kind of my experience with SPFBO, though. I do really think it was great in some ways and not so great in others. Like, there could be improvements in future ones. I do know we're going into a champions round. I don't know how that's going to function, but hi, Mark. There's going to be a lot of breaks of me going, Mark, please, Mr. Lawrence, please. Because I don't know how to contact you. I'm not on Twitter, and I'm really bad at social media. So that's kind of why I wanted the competition, because I don't get my book out really well, because I'm terrible at marketing, because I hate social media. even though I'm on a ton of it. Okay, I think this has got to be done. Add the lamb again. Come here, lammy. And our black vinegar. And that's it, just the teaspoon. Oh, and the stock. Putting this on it because we don't have a braiser, or we don't have a pressure cooker. We got to learn how to actually properly braise. I don't know what I'm doing. That's what we're doing there. So once it is all tender, we can remove it. We're gonna chop it into bite-sized pieces. We're gonna strain it, strain the stock, and reserve it. Should have about a quart of stock. That's what it wants. Then we're going to, we need a bigger pot for the roast. Anyway, what's your Avatar: The Last Airbender nation? What are you? I'm Earth. I think I'm a mix of Earth and fire. I do not think I'm a water air. I'm not water tribe, but I'm not an airbender. I'm not an air nomad, although I am nomadic, but look at me. I'm Earth. Look at me. I'm Earth Kingdom. I don't think anybody was questioning that. Barf. Barf, barf. Well, overall, that was my experience with SPFBO. It got highs and lows and different things. I do think it was worth it for sure. I still feel very, very grateful to have been in it at all, let alone a finalist. I finished 7th in the competition, so it's hard to like look and be like, oh, I'm 7 out of 10. I'm not. I'm 7 out of 300. So I have to remind myself that, because the dumb brain likes to get in there and go like, you suck, clearly. But I'm really proud of my book. I'm still really proud of this book in general. I think it's my best work yet. I've been a little stuck with the sequel. I do think some of the pressure from this competition has affected my ability to write the sequel over and over and over, and I've already restructured it yet again. So we are taking a little break from it because we're going to work on something else that I have a little bit more passion for right now, in terms of stuff, because SPFBOX was very much my therapy during rough times. So that's kind of what I write. When I write is what I need therapy, which is always. So I don't know when book 2 will come out, but luckily it is a fully standalone. The rest are companions, so you can just read SPFBOX by itself without worry. It's the next book starts with completely different characters, so you don't have to worry about that. I do plan on writing a little mini novella involving Bigfoot's wedding, because Bigfoot's going to get married in this little novella, that hopefully will tie in the 2 books together. But for now, I'm going to be focusing my attention on a different project. More to come on that. But yeah, that's how that be. And Mark Lawrence, please contact me, please, please, please. I really want to be a judge. I want to be a judge so bad. Paul. Okay, we're going to continue this. So this is going to, I got to braise this for like 20 minutes. So I'll be back in 20. I'm going to start on this rice anyway, because I'm getting impatient. This is still simmering and stuff, and I'm a little nervous about it. But I think we can time this well, because there's going to be another 20-minute wait once everything is in this pot. So we are heating our oil, and then we're going to put in our veggies, which is our onion, garlic, and carrots. And we're going to saute those for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then we're going to add cumin and fennel. And our cumin is a ½ teaspoon and a ½ teaspoon of each. What's your guys' favorite episode of Avatar? Obviously mine is the Ember Island Players. That's my favorite. Great. What are your thoughts on the live action? Because so many people I feel like hated it, and I actually loved it. I knew it wasn't going to be exactly the show because there's so many more episodes, but I think for what they condensed it down into, they still had a lot of the essence of the show, and I really liked it. I think it was really well cast, and I just rewatched it again with Lena because Lena hadn't seen it, and I'm like, you gotta watch it with me. But I think they did really well. I really loved the martial arts that they did, especially the fight between Aang and Zuko and Omashu with the silks and stuff. Oh, loved that. Beautiful. So yeah, I really, really, really liked it. I don't mind that they changed some things, because I think for the narrative that they did, it worked really well, and it still held the essence of the show. So, lay off. We're gonna need to buy more garlic. I really want to cosplay Avatar one day. I don't know who I would cosplay. No, I do know. I would cosplay Toph, but in the Ember Island player version. and just scream at people. That's what I would do. It'd be super fun. Paulstifer, what are we yelling at? It said we should continue to add more chicken broth if we're braising it, so that's what we're doing. It was originally, we didn't want to make this. Well, we did, but we were choosing between two. This is what we wanted to make, the charred cabbage noodles. This takes 3.5 to 4.5 hours of cook time. I don't have that on a work night after I've just worked a whole day. So, yeah, we decided to switch it up. Cumin and fennel, cumin and fennel seeds. But I need to open up our raisins. And we're using a 1/4 cup. Do not let your dogs anywhere near this dish. There is like 3 large ingredients that are extremely bad for dogs. Raisins being one of them. Garlic being another. Onions being another. This is not a dish. Okay, we're gonna use 2 boxes. 2 boxes of raisins. Can't believe I found these appealing as a kid. I hate raisins. Do I? Yeah, I kind of do. I kind of hate raisins. I mean, it just looks like bunny rabbit poop. We all know how I feel about bunny rabbits. Okay. Add the raisins, rice, and salt. Add my rice. I don't know what this accent is. I'm so sorry. Now it said to, you know, have the lamb chopped up and put it on top of it. But then you're supposed to add enough stock to cover the rice, but not overtake the lamb. So I'm going to just take this off of the heat for a second, and we're gonna hope for the best right now. Sorry, I have not been dynamically filming this like at all in any way. It's been very much a me talking to you thing, because we need to drain our stock. Hold on, so much is happening. Do I need any of that? Are we not using any of this? From what I drained, like the carrots and the onions there. Oh, that's hot. What I'm gonna do is take this stock, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start with this. That the rice can just start cooking, and I will add the, that's right, that's about right. I'm gonna add the lamb as I go. Cook on a medium heat. Whoops. Until it's been cooked through. And a nice crusty bottom has been formed. Approximately 25 to 30 minutes. Garnish with dill. Okay, so we're just gonna chop our lamb. We'll come back. Voila! This is the rice. Here it all is from the pot. I did add a little bit more chicken stock because I feel like the rice was a little too crispy. It's supposed to be a crispier rice, not a fully soft one. But I garnished with the dill, and now we're gonna find out if Hala likes it. Knock, knock. Oh, you're done. I'm about to look up food. And what are we calling this? This is the Misty Palm Special Rice.
Okay, I see lamb, rice,
yes,
carrots, onions, parsley.
Dill, not parsley.
Dill.
Mm-hmm.
It's hot.
Yeah, a little bit hot. It's pretty fresh.
I left my tea down there.
You did. I was looking, I'm like, I wonder if she did that on purpose.
I forgot.
We can look at a Treyu while it cools down. Hi, Treyu.
Hot.
Hot, hot, hot.
Hot. Hot. That was a big piece of lamb.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Yeah.
Lamb is made well.
Mm-hmm. Yay! I was worried because they wanted me to put it in a pressure cooker.
Oh.
Didn't have that.
I like it.
Yeah?
Definitely Mediterranean vibes.
Yes. For sure. Coriander, fennel, cumin, garlic, all the good stuff.
Raisins.
Yay.
Raisins.
Yes, raisins. There's raisins in it, yeah.
That's
So
what-
definitely not a shareable food with the dogs, for sure. It's got triple threat to them in there. Garlic, onion, raisin. So.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Well, let's give it a taste here on this side of things. That's pretty tasty. Especially because normally I don't like dill. I'm sorry, I cannot share this with you, my guy. I cannot share it with you. I'm so sorry. It cannot be shared. It has things that'll kill you in it, and I want you to live a long life. We did it. We made Misty Palm's special rice from my Avatar cookbook. Let me know what book you want me to text next. If you want me to keep doing Avatar, there's 4 nations in here. So, there's a lot. I got a Little Women cookbook. I got an Anne of Green Gables cookbook. I have a Hunger Games cookbook. I have a Star Trek cookbook. We've got a Lord of the Rings cookbook here. We've got a lot of cookbooks for literary stuff, or if you have a show that you're like, hey, make this thing, I will attempt to do it, because we're trying to do 12 of these episodes this year. That's ambitious considering it's already May, and this is only the 2nd one we've done. So yeah. Anyway, it's 8:30 at night now. I'm gonna eat this and then basically go to bed. The rice parts are really good. Solid. All right. Catch you in the comments. I'll see you next time, cuties. Bye. Hi, can I help you? You guys smell it? Bibbidi, bobbidi, boo! There it is! Hopefully you got that nice heavy breathing right in the mic for you guys. I forgot what I was saying. I got distracted by the delicious fragrance. Okay, so here's the earth.